Hello and welcome. Hopefully you've already seen our welcome back video. Now I want to talk to you a little bit about some things as we come back to Mass that I want to share with you, some things that you need to be aware of. So beginning Tuesday, May 26th, we will be able to have Mass utilizing about a third of our space in our churches. Now to accommodate this need, we're going to be changing our Mass times a little bit. And since there's no obligation to attend Mass, the hope is that everybody will be able to attend a Mass during the week who wants to. So those who are ready to come back can find a time in the week when they can come to Mass and receive the Eucharist. It may not be on the weekend, but for now, we simply are trying to get people to be able to come back to Mass. If you plan to attend Mass in a church, Masses during the week are a little bit different. The schedule is a little bit different. So on Mondays, we have Mass here at St. Joseph's at 8 a.m. Tuesdays at 12 noon here at St. Joseph's. And then also Thursday and Friday at 6 p.m. here at St. Joseph's. Wednesday, we will have a Mass at Our Lady of Fatima at 9 a.m. Also on Saturday, we will have two Masses at Our Lady of Fatima, one at 4 and one at 6. And finally on Sunday morning at 8:30, we'll have a Mass here at St. Joseph's in the church. And then we're planning to have an outdoor Mass at 10:30 on the east side of the property here at St. Joseph's. More information on that to come. So Sunday morning, the 8:30 Mass will be filmed. It will be streamed and recorded so that those who are not ready to come back to Mass can still view that Mass or attend Mass virtually, I guess, and be able to come and be a part of our community still on that level. Confessions will be happening 30 minutes before each Mass on the campus where the Mass is scheduled. The one exception to that is there will be confessions here at St. Joseph's from noon to 1 on Saturday afternoon. When attending the Mass inside, you need to reserve a pew prior to the Mass, either online using Sign Up Genius, or there are some numbers you can call different parishioners that will be able to sign you up. And those numbers were included in that letter or email that went out last week. So hopefully you are able to get those numbers. If not, you can call the parish office, we can get you connected. Everyone needs to still follow the social distancing that we're following as a society right now while you're in the church and while you're on church property. Whether you agree with these policies or not, we ask you to comply with them during this time. Everyone is approaching this thing a little bit differently, so we want to make sure that everybody feels comfortable being here at church. Please keep about 6 feet between yourselves and other families. This may be difficult, I know, because we haven't seen each other for a long time. There may be friends or fellow parishioners who you haven't seen this whole 8 weeks or so, and maybe you want to reconnect. That's great, I understand that, but we need to follow social distancing while we're here at the church. So please do your best to follow that. So no hugging, no handshaking, these sorts of things. I know it's going to be difficult. When you come into church, there'll be hand sanitizer there at the entryway. Please utilize that. And if you have children with you, make sure that they too sanitize their hands. If you need help finding your pew, there should be a diagram there that will help you to find where your pew is, and hopefully there will also be an usher there that can guide you to where your pew is if you need help with that. So locate your pew. They're labeled on the side aisles. Now some of the pews are just for one family. So at Our Lady of Fatima, for instance, many of the pews are only able to accommodate one family. There are 3 pews in the back, however, at Our Lady of Fatima that can accommodate maybe 2 smaller families. So those would have an A and a B side. Here at St. Joseph's, all the pews in the church are divided into an A and a B side. So A is closest to the windows and B is closest to the center aisle. So depending on which side you sign up for, which part of the pew you sign up for online, you're going to want to walk down the middle aisle if you're on one of the B sides or one of the B pews, or down the side aisle if you're on the A pews. Note carefully the diagram as you enter the church. If you need assistance, please talk to one of the ushers. Also note that there won't be any hymnals during Mass. We won't be singing as much as we maybe normally would. We'll have some music at some of the Masses, but for now we're still trying to work that out, so just be patient with us. For the collection, we'll have boxes as you walk into the church where you can stick your envelope in there if you so desire. Those should be available and ready to go, and if you have any questions about that, you can certainly call the office. Now for communion, there's also going to be some differences. Mass will proceed as it normally does, but at this time we need to do communion after Mass. The diocese has asked us to do this. There's a bunch of guidelines. We'll have another video that explains communion, but just note that it will happen after Mass. After Mass is complete, and if you've desired to receive communion and you've done that, we ask you to please carefully exit the church in an orderly fashion. Ideally, it would be best if the people in the back of the church or closest to the exits would leave first, and then in an orderly fashion people would go out. We want to avoid the sort of mob that we normally have as we go out of church and try to avoid people getting too close together. So please do your best to follow social distancing as you leave the church. If you really need to connect with somebody after Mass, please do so outside of the church so that people can get in and out in a safe way. Now after each Mass, we will be doing our best to clean and sanitize the churches. If you're able to assist with this, we'd welcome the help. We'll have people who are trained in this, and maybe they can show you what they need to do, or you can work alongside them the first time you do it. Of course, as we're doing all of this, we're going to do our best to eliminate any risks. Well, we can't take, we have to recognize that there's going to be some risk involved. If you're willing to come back to church, if you're willing to come back to Mass, we're happy, but we can't guarantee that you're not going to be exposed to something. So just take that into consideration as you make your own decision of what you want to do. We're going to do our best to minimize any risks, but we can't guarantee that there won't be some. I want to say a little bit about attending the possible outdoor Mass. So again, the outdoor Mass we're planning for is at St. Joseph's at 10:30 on Sunday mornings. Now this will begin Pentecost Sunday, the 31st of May. So what we're planning to do is set up the altar closest to the school and then use the parking lot space and the grassy area if needed for people to come and set up. So you're going to have to park somewhere else. We don't have the parking lot. And then make your way over there. Please, if you're one of the first ones there, we're asking people to kind of set up closer to the front and in the center so that as people come in, they don't have to kind of weave their way through the crowd. So as you come in, just set yourselves up according to who's already there. So if there's a large crowd, you'll have to be on the outside or in the back. If there's not that many people, you can be closer to the front. We'll have speakers, so you should be able to hear no matter where you're sitting. Along with that, you need to bring your own chairs. So if you want to bring a lawn chair or you want to bring a blanket to sit on, that's great. But you're going to have to provide your own way to sit. Please plan to attend Mass again in the same way. Communion will happen after Mass. And after we're done with everything, I ask you again to leave in an orderly fashion, avoiding getting in close contact with other families, following social distancing. If you really need to connect with somebody, that's fine. But please do so in a way that you're not disrupting others from leaving in a safe manner. For now, I just want to say thanks. There'll be a few more videos, one on receiving communion and one for signing up for a pew for the inside Masses. But for now, we just want to say welcome back. It's good to have people coming back to church, and we're really excited to have you. God bless you.